I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All 6 of them.
Who are you?
Dedicated graduates are back in Police Academy. Mahoney, Jones, Hightower, Sweet Chuck, Zed, and Tackleberry.
Now be careful, because a 44 Magnum has quite a...
See them in your neighborhood while you still have one. Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. And again, if you wonder what that noise is, I have a fan on because it's just too hot. Sorry, guys. But Johnny, another Patreon request for him, and he got one of the bigger tiers. That's why. If anyone ever interested in requesting pretty much any type of video, you can either join my Patreon or send a request directly via my PayPal. The links are down below in the info box. If not, no worries, but if so, thank you. But Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol. The last of the Police Academy films I enjoy. I enjoy the first 4. After this... But a lot of people don't like this one. And I disagree. I mean, I see lists where this is considered the worst one. I'm like, worse than Mission to Moscow? Really? This is actually one of my favorite ones. My favorite's part 3. This might be my second favorite. This or the first one, I don't know. Because I do like the cast. I like Steve Guttenberg coming back as the star. It's the final one he starred in. And then you got Michael Winslow. G.W. Bailey comes back because he was not in part 2 or 3. Art Metrano was the antagonist, but either he didn't want to do it. I know it was maybe a few years after this, or I know at one point sadly he became a quadriplegic, which is too bad. It was cool to see G.W. Bailey back as the antagonist since the first one, and it's the first time he's joined with Lance Kinsey, the guy who plays Proctor, who was in part 2 and 3. So it was cool to see G.W. Bailey and Proctor first together. And Steve Guttenberg and G.W. Bailey playing off each other once again. Which I wonder if some of that was sparked because before this they were in Short Circuit together. So I wonder if that got some juices flowing. Steve's like, hey, come back to Police Academy. Maybe. Bobcat Goldthwait comes back, as well as I can never say it, Kazurinsky. They play off each other very well, like they did in part 3. This has one of my favorite jokes in the franchise. There's a point where Lance Kinsey Proctor, the sidekick, the G.W. Bailey's character, our lead character just wants to play a joke on him because he's an asshole, so he's in a porta potty, and they take a crane and they pick it up. But as they pick it up, Bobcat Goldthwait's like waving them in. all of a sudden there's a plane going by, and he's like, watch out for that plane. Like, it's a wide shot, and imagine the train's going this way, and then the plane's like going this way, obviously not near it, of course, but you know, peripherally you see that's going towards. He's like, watch out for that plane. The way he said that is just fucking hilarious. I don't know how to recreate it. But the plot of the film, before I go on, is they start this new program called Citizens on Patrol. And they get random citizens to maybe help out, call in case there's trouble. Which I think is an interesting idea. At least for a fourth film. I mean, there's not a tremendous amount of ideas you can have for a police Tammy franchise. That's what you do. Them working with firemen, or them going in space. Police Tammy in space. I'm surprised they didn't do that. Maybe if they did a part 8, it would be. The title song, which Michael Winslow did a little bit on, Citizens on Patrol. Do 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 do. Citizens on Patrol. Do 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 do. I actually enjoy it. It's fun, it's goofy, silly, but I thought it was kind of catchy. You hear it at the opening. And that's the thing, the opening kind of had that fun vibe to it, because you have Steve Guttenberg and Michael Winslow having fun listening to this radio and playing off each other. I thought that was really, you know, entertaining, lighthearted to see. And our lead character's training these citizens. And yeah, Bobcat Goldthwait using mace as deodorant. And then G.W. Bailey uses it later and burns his armpits. You got, like, Bobcat sticking his hand in the pool. Yeah, the pool you just ate. Yeah, they do a little bit of a fun basketball game, where Bubba Smith dunks it and kills the basketball. One of these citizens is a very young David Spade, playing, believe it or not, a skateboarder. And from what I understand, Tony Hawk was his double. But then some trivia says he was fired, so I don't know if some of his stuff made it or none of his stuff made it in. But he is credited at the end. Credits. At the end credits they show like the face and then the title card. And Tony Hawk is credited, so he must have done some of it if he's going to be credited. But yeah, David Spade. I love someone that asked him about this movie. I mean, he probably talked shit about it, but I mean, I wonder if anyone's ever asked him about it. But I mean, there's a fun moment where David Spade and these other guys, including this big guy who would be in part 5. I think he never came back after that. But the three of them, they think, oh, we could do this, we're doing well in training, well, hey, we'll take care of it all. So our lead characters think, okay, these guys are cocky, so they play this massive prank on these three. So you have Bubba Smith dressed in his outfit going, yama, 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 yama. And pretends to be this voodoo man, and that Steve Guttenberg and Michael Winslow went in and shot his brother, and they have the body in there with Bubba Smith in his outfit. He's doing this voodoo, and the brother comes back and has like a hockey mask and a chainsaw and his tackleberry, and it scares the shit out of the fucking three trainees, including David Spade. I thought that was a fun sequence. And then when David Graff is Tackleberry, he was the guy with the hockey mask and chainsaw. He takes it off, and Steve Guttenberg looks is like, that was great. You do take off the mask now, Tackleberry. And then he gives him a look like, what? Because he had already taken the mask off. Thanks for explaining the joke as if we didn't get it. I know. Other familiar faces, Randall Tets Cobb. Cool to see him in there from one of my personal favorites, Uncommon Valor. He's in jail, and because of Proctor being an idiot, there's this big jailbreak. And so a lot of the criminals get let loose. And then our cadets and the citizens, they go round them up. Brian Tochi, Sally's not in the film too much, but he's in it briefly with Leslie Easterbrook. The last appearance he'll have in this franchise. I almost forget Sharon Stone is in this movie as the girl that Steve Guttenberg is trying to hook up with. Yes, Sharon Stone. So, yeah. Sharon Stone was in Police Academy 4. Honestly, it's one of the better movies she's done. Hell, a lot better than fucking Catwoman or Basic Instinct 2. But anyway. The finale, not as good as part 3. It's still some fun to be had. Michael Winslow, Brian Tochi, and Leslie Easterbrook, they fight. I don't know why the fuck there's ninjas on a boat. What, did they have ninjas in the fucking jail as well? See, that's when the creeps are starting to show up. The cracks are starting to show when all of a sudden now you have fucking ninjas. It's like, why ninjas? Like, the Police Academy films are not realistic. They were never realistic. You're not supposed to ever take them seriously. But then there are points like, what the fuck? Like, what's next? Is an actual cartoon it's going to show up to speak to our characters? An alien from outer space? Like they had in Meatballs 2? Surprised they didn't do that. And Police Academy 6 or 7. But this is some fun to be had, but for the action parts of these movies, this is one of my least favorites. Because it deals with hot air balloons. I'm sorry, hot air balloons do nothing for me. There's a little bit of plane play, where the baddies get a plane and Steve Guttenberg is in a plane. He gets on the bad guy's plane. But the air balloon stuff, I just don't think it's that exciting. For me, it's not visually dynamic. It just looks like a big fucking balloon. That's it. Because that's what it is. It's just a big balloon floating and floating and floating. So I don't really have any visual velocity to that, like the Steed-U's or speedboats or jet skis, whatever they had in part 3, or actually being on foot, having to do all this stuff in part 2. And but there's still some fun when Bobcat and the other guy, Sweet Chut, they both go out of the plane and they're falling. And Bobcat tells him, break your fall, hit the kids. As you can probably tell, Bobcat Goldthwait I really enjoyed in these movies. He was one of the reasons I enjoy this in part 3 a lot. He was easily one of my favorite parts of this franchise. Same with Steve Guttenberg. But I do like Michael Winslow. I do like Brian Tochi, the little bits that he's in. I like Bubba Smith and the others. And I do like the song. I think the song's fairly catchy. Citizens on patrol. Do 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 do. Not trying to kill people's eardrums. That's why I'm trying to also talk a bit softer, because I know I got to get a stand. But until I do, I don't want to, yell, oh, what the fuck, that type of thing. Of course, with the fan, as if that makes a difference, right? It's in crystal clear clarity, only if you're on crystal meth, while drinking Crystal Pepsi, and having sex with a girl named Crystal. But getting back to Police Academy 4, I do enjoy this film. Does it have its faults? Sure, from time to time. Like all these, not all the jokes work. I did the finale with the... I just wasn't as exciting compared to, say, part 3 or 2 or even 1. But to me, it's the last fun movie. It's the last Steve Guttenberg one. It's the last Bobcat Goldthwait one. It's the last one where Brian Tochi or the character Sweet Chuck, they'll be gone. And then I actually recorded part 5's review a lot earlier, because I watched all these, but that one I just wanted to get out first because I'll forget. And then part 6 and 7 I had to fucking rewatch because I fucking forgot them. So that's why it's different location for part 5 review. 6, yeah, anyway, fuck it. Thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.